Are you looking for professional broadcasting on a budget? How about broadcast with colorful commentary, guest commentators, and after-race interviews? Do your league branding and social media graphics need a facelift? Custom results and series graphics looking like a fifth grader did them? Event organization taking up way too much of your time? Engage GTC TV and let us help you show the world your events.
PC Systems, your dedicated call center partner. We specialize in live customer support as a service, a 24/7 support center, empowering system integrators, operators, and innovators to execute seamlessly at scale, precisely when and where it matters most. Our TaaS model encompasses infrastructure, technology procurement, and comprehensive implementation and lifecycle support. With 3 decades of industry expertise, PC Systems leads in collaborative solutions across hospitality, multifamily student housing, and healthcare. As your trusted white label support partner, PC Systems operates seamlessly in the background, acting as an extension of your team and brand. Simple pricing and transparent solutions allow us to extend your business reach at scale. Let us accelerate your project execution and provide the service delivery infrastructure to expand your business. Contact PC Systems, your call center partner.
Welcome to Origin Micro, your go-to e-commerce superstore for IT hardware and consumer electronics. With over 2 decades of experience, we've earned a reputation for delivering superior customer service and offering top industry brands at competitive prices. We provide a wide range of products from various manufacturers. From notebooks and desktops to networking equipment and VoIP devices, we've got you covered. Our fully stocked warehouse ensures that you'll find the products you need when you need them. And with our expert team always ready to offer personalized support, you can trust Origin Micro for all your IT needs. Origin Micro, your IT e-commerce superstore, serious deals, superior service.
for me. You know what? That's because you have to hit the master button. You got to hit the master button so that your sound goes to the master. All right, well, they still haven't started qualifying, or they just now gotten started, but I'm going to go through the welcome again real quick because, you guys need the welcome. So, we are at GT Champions World Cup Season 8, Round 10. We are at Spa in Belgium. My name is Tatiana Noel. I am your host for the evening. Okay, we can hear me now. Great, that's fantastic. I just really want to quickly thank our sponsors, Origin Micro being one. Any home office or office needs you may have, email them directly at sales@originmicro.com. Mention that they sponsor our broadcast, and maybe you'll get a little bit of a deal. Our next sponsor will be PC Systems. 24-hour support, basically. If you need any sort of customer support or technical support, holler at them for your outsourcing of that work. And you know what? We'll talk about more things. We'll talk about more things right now. Everyone's really on their outlap. So let's talk about what everyone's racing for. We're racing for a GT Champions Winners Coin. We've had these for a few seasons now, and basically it is a gold coin, personalized and serialized. They are numbered. They are all unique, and you get that when you win your class in any GT Champions League, whether that be across Gran Turismo or iRacing. So for unique prizes, definitely jump into the next season that you can. Absolutely recommend it. Speaking of seasons to jump into, if you are on the iRacing platform, IGTS, the GT Champions International GT Series, has several races for you. We're almost to the end of the season now. Just one more round in June. That'll be at Sebring, and then July 18th will be Interlagos. They're 70-minute races with one drop round. Might be too late to sign up, but it's not too late to watch. Check them out right here on this YouTube channel. I cannot see if there's a date on here because the fine print is quite fine, but I believe these are on Saturday afternoons. You can go to gtchampions.com to find out for sure. So let's see what's going on track now. Folks should be finishing up their outlaps if they aren't already completely already there. No, we are just in time to see folks outlaps. Why don't we go ahead and get some audio going here so you can hear the wonderful sounds of these beautiful vehicles, if you will. I don't know why I said it like that. I'm weird. That is, well, that's weird. Let's go up to Nuke and see what time he said. I think the timing is being weird. A few people have set times. I thought. Okay, I saw something weird. I'm gonna stick with Nuke though, because he's gonna cross the line first in that Lambo. That GT3 Lambo here as we go through the Double Gauche of Spa-Francorchamps. So actually, he's got a little bit of time. I'm gonna stop trying to say Francorchamps. Spa. We love this track. We hate this track. We race this track. I mean, it just is what it is. You know, it is a classic track, one of the best in the world. But it can also be such a great enemy because it's so huge, right? Like, gosh, you gotta get so much of it right to be fast around here. What does a guy gotta do to be fast around here, eh? A lot. A lot. So let's see if Nuke has pulled it off. He's coming close to the final chicane of the track. And we'll see what time he's able to pick up as he crosses the line soon. Right behind him is HPR 82, so we should get a time from him very soon as well. Nuke navigating that final chicane beautifully, straighten out the car, and all the way to the line. He's going to cross first with a 2:16. Is that 2:15? 2:15, 5:87. Ooh, he is immediately put down to third by HPR, who's gotten himself a 2:18.153, but Lefebvre, my favorite, he's up in first with a 2:17.674. Ooh, 17. Somebody's dropping 17s. Lap 1. That is the Ferrari something or other. I can't remember the number. There's always a number, right? The Ferrari thing. You guys know. You guys know. Come on. Anyway, great job for Lefebvre. We have somebody else who's just crossed the line here. No changes behind HPR or Nuke, or in front of HPR or Nuke, but we got Ricardus in, who set a 2:19.4. Sandwith has set a 219.557. Just behind him is Jay Bruin with a 219.724. And then, of course, we've got Nigel Higginbotham. You know what? I realized I'm showing the wrong thing. I think we do in GT Champions. Let me do online IDs. There's Venom. There's Craig. Yeah, I think that's how we do it in GT Champs. Tell me if I'm wrong. Upgraded. Sits in 10th place. He's at a 220. I didn't call out Venom's time, actually. Venom is a 219. He's been beat out by German Racing with a 219.785. We're coming into folks finishing up their second lap. We'll continue down the order. Some folks haven't had a good lap yet. Ooh, SFE Jamond also in the Ferrari with a 217.674. Oh, that's Lefebvre, of course. Sorry, I changed the names and now I'm confused by anyone who's anyone now. It's my fault. HPR still behind him, as well as Nuke. Of course, they're still navigating that second flying lap, so I don't expect times from those two just yet here. Tires are already starting to wear out, so Deg is a little bit high today. You know what? I believe the Deg settings are the same across the board, but let me be sure. You know where I can find that info? GTChampions.com. That's right. That is correct. There and only there can we find out more about the rules. Ooh, a penalty for LJ V15, so gonna have to work that off, and that is basically a lap loss. No changes in the top 4 or 5 here. Gurgle to 6th, just crossed the line. Best lap is a 221, so actually they didn't improve time. They actually had a pretty bad lap there. Craig improves with a 219.782. I think I just saw somebody else that set a new time. That's Steve-O. Just set a time. Where are you, Steve-O? They're coming in hot and fast. Steve-O is still in the bottom, though, even with that time of a 221.612. So, bettering the time, but not bettering the position. Venom still sits in 10th. Did not get a better lap time last time around. Aussie did, though. Aussie's second flyer, the 219.903, was almost a 2-second improvement over their last lap time. Craig with a 219.782. I think I just talked about Craig. Up in the top 5, no changes for LJ. Of course, he had to eat that penalty, and oof, whatever caused the penalty must have also been heavy, because that last lap was a 234. Ricardis does improve time, if not place, with a 219.186 last time around. Nuke also improved his time, but not his place, by almost 2/10 with a 218.380. Also improvement from HPR up top, a pretty decent one, 2/10 to a 217.9, but of course 217.283 is the time to beat, because Lefebvre, J-Nord, of course, has beat the time that he set the last lap with by 4/10. That is insane. So lots and lots of work to be done by these other drivers. Lots and lots of water to be drank by myself. Guys, if you believe it or not, my air conditioning is not working. It is June in Georgia, baby. Equipment's running hot. I'm not gonna lie. That's probably why the PlayStation decided video is overrated. Hopefully that doesn't happen again. It won't. We're gonna do great. Ooh, gotta stay hydrated during a World Cup broadcast, of course. Now we got about half a minute left in quali here. I think everyone is pretty much where they're going to be, but you know, some folks still have laps to put in. So let's see. Ricardis seems to be on a flyer now, so got to start before the checkered flag went down. So changes. There may be changes. There may be changes. Guys, this is round 10 of 12, so we're pretty much at the end of everything here. You know, championship picture is looking the way it does. Ricardis is going to abandon this lap. Is anyone else still out there trying real hard? Gurgle seems to be working to get quicker. It did improve their time by about 2/10 the last time around. They got a 219.559, puts them in 7th place right now. Behind them, let's see if anyone is still running hard. Aussie Racing is looking to put together a lap, so Aussie might be able to put him down. We'll see. Those tires are pretty worn, as you can see on the bottom left of your screen. Venom has been pushed down to 11th and is not looking to improve. Steve-O might be on a flyer as well, so those are the 3 to look out for. That's Steve-O, Aussie's Garage, and Gurgle. Gurgle is coming up to oh my gosh, Stavilo, is that the name of this chicane? Not only do I need to look up the rules, I gotta look up the the track corner names again. Always. Speaking of Tire Dag, while we're here, before I look up those corner names, I think I was trying to pull up what those settings were. As I recall, they're the same for every round, and so I only have to look one place for it. Right? Yeah, fuel is 1x, tires is 3x. So Tire Dag is pretty high. Seems to be a little bit of a cloudy day today, though, so maybe not as high as we would think. Gurgle is through the final chicane and is going to cross the line and goes up to 4th place, and so does push down Ricardus Craig LV down to 7th place. So well done for Gurgle. Aussie behind does not improve. Aussie stays in 10th. Oh no, that wasn't Aussie. Who just crossed behind him? Was it Steve-O? I have no idea who just crossed the line behind him. Maybe it wasn't someone looking to improve. I think Steve-O and Aussie Sim Racing are the last ones still going hard. Here comes Steve-O across the line. He's going to stay exactly where he's at. Aussie crosses, also stays in 10th place, does not improve his time. So that is the end of qualifying. All right. Whoo. We got some comments in chat here. There'll be some rain today, which should make it interesting, according to Chris. Wow. Well, that says a lot. We love some rain at Spa. Says he wishes he's in the booth. Snuck away into a room to catch the beginning until the wife finds me. Guys, congratulate Chris. His son, they're having a graduation party for his son, so Chris should be going off to be a proud dad, but instead he's sneaking off to talk to us nerds. And that says everything you need to know about nerdiness. Aussie, congratulations for making it into Lobby 1. Way to go. Good luck this race, and good luck to everyone else as well, of course. We should be starting sometime soon. Shouldn't be too much of a delay, as we were already delayed in the race. Or in starting qualifying and the like. Let's pull up that map of Spa so I know what I'm talking about, yeah? It's not easy. The knowing what I'm talking about part. That's the part that's not easy. Alright. Venom says, everyone get your tires. We're starting in 2 minutes. So 2 minutes is where we shall begin. Now we know when to expect the action to start. So with rain, you know, anything is up for grabs, quite frankly. Spa can sometimes be a little bit slow, just because it's such a big track. You know, cars get pretty spread out at this track, but man, the rain can change something in a heartbeat, can it? So no telling what'll happen in this race. I'm very excited to see what happens in this race. Matter of fact, let me see, what are we looking at as far as standings go? You know, I probably should have set up like a browser source so you guys can see the standings when I see the standings. Alas, only I can see it, because I'm not going to try to set it up now. For sure. Uh-oh. Stats and results not loading. There we go. Loading now. So the Pro Championship currently, Jay Lefebvre is winning. You know what? Are we using those names? Are we using... Hey, Fry. Yeah, do your best to stay. Ah, bye, Chris. Wife caught him. You hate to see it. But, yes, Jay Lefebvre leads the championship right now. followed by HPR in second place with 242 points. Lefebvre has 276 points, by the way. Nuke is right behind HPR with 240 points. LJV15, 237 points, and Ricardus in fifth place in the championship with 223 points. And I believe that's pretty close to how this lobby set itself up, or rather the grid set itself up, except for Gurgle disrupting there, jumping up to fourth at the last minute in qualifying. He actually sits in 11th place in the championship with 189 points. You can find standings and results, of course, on gtchampions.com. And let me make sure that our host knows I'm ready, because I am. We're ready as an audience. Everybody's ready. Venom, we're good to go. I don't even know why you're asking. Obviously, I'd be the number one ready person to ever ready up. Like, duh. Alright, guys, let me stop being silly. I promise no, we've lost Gurgle. Gurgle, who was supposed to start in fourth, I think with the disconnection before we start, he'll be allowed the chance to come back in. So we'll give that a couple of minutes, maybe extend just a little bit. We'll see what's said in the lobby host room. Or maybe it will be said somewhere else. Probably in the lobby 1. Gurgle is typing. Just got booted. Alright, well, while that happens, I don't know, what do we do? You know what we do? We play you an ad.
Are you looking for professional broadcasting on a budget? How about broadcast with colorful commentary, guest commentators, and after-race interviews? Do your league branding and social media graphics need a facelift? Custom results and series graphics looking like a 5th grader did them? Event organization taking up way too much of your time? Engage GTC TV and let us help you show the world your events.
PC Systems, your dedicated call center partner. We specialize in live customer support as a service, a 24/7 support center, empowering system integrators, operators, and innovators to execute seamlessly at scale, precisely when and where it matters most. Our TaaS model encompasses infrastructure, technology procurement, and comprehensive implementation and lifecycle support. With 3 decades of industry expertise, PC Systems leads in collaborative solutions across hospitality, multifamily student housing, and healthcare. As your trusted white label support partner, PC Systems operates seamlessly in the background, acting as an extension of your team and brand. Simple pricing and transparent solutions allow us to extend your business reach at scale. Let us accelerate your project execution and provide the service delivery infrastructure to expand your business. Contact PC Systems, your call center partner.
Alright, looks like we are getting close to being ready. You see folks leaving the lobby or leaving the track to get some laps in, some practice laps just before we really do the thing. I do believe Gurgle is back in the room, so this is just a matter of Venom calling it and getting us going. How you guys doing in chat? What you guys got going on today? Besides, of course, tuning in and watching the World Cup race. We'll see what HPR's got going on. Trying to go fast. Makes sense to me, HPR. Vamos. Forza. HPR, longtime racer in the league. Of course, Venom, you know. Longtime owner of the league. Duh. on there. A lot of these names have been around for a good while, a hot minute, if you will, and you love to see it. You know, the loyalty of the drivers in this league is second to none. It speaks to the community that RWB and, of course, Chris Presidio Dog have created with World Cup. And it speaks to the quality of the racing, that these drivers still want to race each other. Oh, now Gurgle's returned. I thought Gurgle had been returned. He had not been returned? Because it looked like he had been returned. Okay, alright, so I was wrong about that. You know, maybe that means it's time to shout out our sponsors for just one more ad. How about that?
Welcome to Origin Micro, your go-to e-commerce superstore for IT hardware and consumer electronics. With over 2 decades of experience, we've earned a reputation for delivering superior customer service and offering top industry brands at competitive prices. We provide a wide range of products from various manufacturers. From notebooks and desktops to networking equipment and VoIP devices, we've got you covered. Our fully stocked warehouse ensures that you'll find the products you need when you need them. And with our expert team always ready to offer personalized support, you can trust Origin Micro for all your IT needs. Origin Micro, your IT e-commerce superstore, serious deals, superior service.
Shout out to Origin Micro, of course, a real one. I'm sure their branding department does not appreciate me saying they're a real one, but I mean, maybe they are. Maybe they are. You don't know. You don't know who's in that marketing department. Gurgle has announced their return. What I don't see is an announcement saying, all right, let's get it going. So hopefully that happens now. Oh, Venom says good luck. So that must mean only one thing, that it's soon. The drivers should be getting on the grid now, and soon enough, the tire warmers will be taken off. I'm joking, there are no tire warmers in GT3 racing. Don't be soft, that's a Formula 1 activity. But the drivers will get on grid, the teams will walk away and walk off the grid, get back behind that wall where they're supposed to be, and we will go racing. So, the lights are currently not up yet. The engines are up and already someone is revving, but I don't think that's smart. Let's save some fuel. We're down now and the lights are out and the engines are up. A clean getaway for the front row. Good jump for J Nord there, who was already in first place, but it definitely helps to get a jump when HPR is actually got a better line down into Eau Rouge and Razillon and takes the lead over J Nord at the very start of the race here. Behind them, everyone is still Linus third, pretty much in the same order. Nuke in third, Gurgle fourth, Craig fifth above Ricardus. Behind LJ was in 8th, or in 10th. Looks like all neatness back here, so we will leave the rear alone for now. And whoa, HPR's jump is on those racing mediums, and he's already got a 1.2 second gap over the rest of the field. So obviously HPR one to watch here tonight. Nuke now ahead of Jaynard. So Jaynard either taking his time or having some trouble, or maybe the Lambo is just that strong, because Nuke the second Lambo on the grid and the second driver in the race. Jaynard down to third. Does Gurgle want to have a look? He's also in that Ferrari. Ooh, I just remembered. It's the 296, isn't it? 246? Remind me of the Ferrari number. Dang it. Craig chasing in the Porsche 911 GT3R, I believe, is the designation of this Porsche. We have a Nissan GT3 with upgraded. Love to see the Nissan still out there. Of course, Ricardus in the Lambo. We've got another Nissan driven by German Racing. Fry is in something that I can't see right now besides this mid-pack line here. Camera angle not helping. Now we can see him. Fry's in the Lambo. No, he's in the Ferrari, as is Venom, who's now attacking for 10th place. We're trying to hold on for 10th place. I think Fry's attacking Venom, and Venom stays ahead, it looks like. of Fry. Steve-O has made his way up to 11th place because Ozzy's fallen to 13th, and LJ has fallen all the way to 13th. So something bad happened. We got damage up front. We got front splitter, and the front right wheel is damaged. Let's see if they jump in now into the pits. Yep, looks like they're going to jump in and see if they can get that damage fixed. Makes sense to me. So, LJ in the pits. HPR still up front, followed by Nuke, followed by J Nord, so no change there. Gurgle, and Craig maybe hoping to work together to get up to them. Craig fighting that arrow wash, headed up into Radillon behind Gurgle. Did okay, kept it on the track there. Upgraded up to 6th. Ricarded to 7th. Ricardus. German Racing in 8th. Venom in 9th with a penalty. That's a half-second penalty. And Fry will be in 10th place there. So the back of the pack pretty much the same. LJ still in the pits, just now making it to the box. It's such a long pit around here. Gonna go ahead and take some fresh mediums. Makes sense to me. Fix that damage. Actually gonna go ahead and fuel up. Gonna try to make this pit stop count for something. Let's see what they fuel up to. This is lap 2. I don't want to miss action on track, but I do want to see how this plays out. LJ gonna take it to 65% fuel on lap 2. Fixes the car, gets it back out there. Top 5 still running strong. Back to back here, upgraded with a little bit of a gap to Craig in 5th. That's 2 seconds. So I would say upgraded is probably the start of what we call the mid pack in 6th. Following is Ricardus, being chased by German Racing, and Venom, who's still carrying that half second, will have to serve it right here. And so Venom will lose 9th place to Fry, who will inherit 10th right there. Ooh, almost a penalty for Fry. Manages to keep it within the track limits. Will there be another position change? No. Venom immediately shuts the door on Ozzy to keep 10th place there. Easy enough. It was only half a second penalty. Fair game. Steve-O follows the two of them. And of course, LJ is over a minute behind, having to have pit for damage, but went ahead and took fuel and tires, which of course would have added some time to that pit stop, but might save a pit stop later on down the road and hopefully catch them up later. Jaynard back in the 2nd place and is getting pretty close to HPR. So where is Venom? Venom's 1.7 seconds back. So Venom lost the place, lost a bunch of time, and now has some catching up to do. No help really from Gurgle. Gurgle's behind. He's not within slipstream or even like a bump draft range. So the fight is between HPR and Jaynard, who is chasing from 2nd place. Will Jaynard attack or sit back and save? Really fighting that arrow wash there through Lecombe. Just trying to keep the car online and not scrub too much on those front tires. You can hear a lot of screech from those tires. You do want to minimize it. Doing a good job of using them to their highest potential while remaining kind to them. They're both going to head down into the double gauche, and is that windshield wiper activity I see? That means rain perhaps starting on the track a little bit. I can't actually see the raindrops, but I'm also not watching this in full screen. I've got 2 tiny versions of it on my screen here. Let's watch the water meter. You guys can't see the water meter. It would be just to the left of the tires. Right now, I'm not showing any moisture on the track, so I'm surprised to see the windshield wipers going on both of these cars. No attack from Jaynard, so we'll get out of this view here, and maybe we'll be able to see something that we can't see before. But the moisture meter is not showing anything on track yet. Oh, a little bit here on the back end of the track as drivers head down through Paul Frere and Blanchimont towards the chicane. I'm starting to see just a sliver of blue on the moisture meter. I would say it's okay to stay out another lap, especially if you're on the medium tire there. Some might jump in, but I'd say that's premature. It's way premature to jump in and take the wet tire. There's still grip on the slick, and especially right now, seeing still just a little bit of moisture in this first sector of the track from these cars. We'll stick with them and see if there are any spots that are still dry on track. I don't really think the weather model in GT7 works that way, though. At least not that great. I don't think there'd be like, oh, there's rain on this part of the track, but not on this one. The moisture might be different, moisture levels, but I don't know that I've ever seen, hey, it's completely dry and not raining here, but it is still raining there. And sure enough, as we come into closing the second sector, still rain coming down the Kemmel Straight, which is about as far as you can get from where we first saw the rain. So drivers will need to make a decision. The rain has come up just a tad bit more. There's a fight for first place. I knew I had to get back up there. I realized I was like, it might be starting. J-Nord does have the outside around Brousset, so not the greatest place, but he's got the inside for the very next corner, Speaker's Corner, and he's going to be able to pull out ahead of HPR just because of that positioning there. So J-Nord, oh, sorry, that was Nuke that he was fighting. I apologize. J-Nord into second place over Nuke. So maybe something happened to him because he's 3 seconds behind HPR. I had completely misread what was happening here. J-Nord fighting for second place while HPR runs off into the distance. There is a thick line of drivers now. J-Nord, Nuke, Gurgle, and Craig all racing for essentially second place. And then a 3-second gap to upgraded, who's racing, riding along just with Ricardis. They are alone, 2.5 seconds back to German Racing. But you know what? Let's go back up front where there may still be drama between Nuke, J-Nord, et al. Maybe not. They're a bit spread out. So let's come back to this mid-pack situation here. We have Ricardis in 8th place, chasing down Upgraded, as I said. Ooh, GT German Racing gets past Gurgle, because Gurgle is falling down the order, down to 9th place for Gurgle. I don't know what's happening, but it is still happening. Down to 10th as Aussie Sim Racing gets around. Venom gets around. Now he's in 11th place. Gurgle has fallen so far down the order, has rear end damage as well. Is going to go ahead and jump in, get on those wet tires and fix that damage. Makes sense to me. No point in going through another slow lap just for the heck of it. Man, you hate to see it. There is visible raindrops on the track now. A little bit more moisture on the moisture meter. It's getting closer to that first line where you do want to go ahead and take the intermediate tire. So slicks are still okay right now, especially if you stay where it's dry. I actually don't even see that there's enough moisture to call there being a wet versus dry line at this point. Drivers still staying on the normal racing line, also known as the dry line. The leaders are not in yet. We'll say that, and there's really no reason to be. Yes, all still on the mediums as we run through lap 5. Fry on those racing softs. That's how Fry's been able to make it up the order here. Up to 8th place. I think Fry started in like 10th or 11th or something like that. So really been fighting the drivers around, but knowing the rain is coming and then I was going to get off of them. It was not a bad decision to get on the faster tire, though tire degradation is starting to affect them. You can see, especially through these more technical corners here, is really not shaking Aussie Sim Racing and Venom, despite them being in all that dirty air, because his front tires have a little less grip than they would. Again, not so big a deal because we're not getting on the rain tires yet. In fact, back here, there's less moisture on the track than there was at the start. We're a little bit further from the moisture meter, or from the first line of the moisture meter here, and this hot battle of Ferraris, 8th, 9th, and 10th, looking really good as you see German Racing off in the distance in that Nissan there. Let's check in with the back. Steve-O in 11th place. Ooh, that was kind of a puddle that I could see off track there where Gurgle was passing. At least it looked like a puddle in like a parking lot or something. LJ, of course, fell behind, and he's on the mediums, and maybe wishes he'd stayed out another lap or two with the damage and just jumped on to the rain tire, because now that whole idea of taking extra fuel, etc., has backfired, because he's gonna have to pit again anyway once this track really starts getting wet. Or maybe it won't. Moisture, a lot less moisture than there was before. So who loses out? Did Gurgle jump on wet tires? Let's go see. Sorry for the topsy-turvy camera work here. I don't have a keyboard. No, Gurgle jumped on medium, so must have known the rain wouldn't have been much and wouldn't last for long, because it has gone down significantly. That moisture meter still popping up every now and then as we follow along with HPR, but we're starting to see more and more just dry track as the drivers make their procession across Spa-Francorchamps. Okay, well, that's good to know. Nuke now 4.5 seconds off J Nord, so that pace has fallen off for the third place driver and Craig behind, while the leaders, HPR and J Nord, run away with it. Of course, Nuke and Craig have run away from Upgraded a long time ago, but I think Upgraded, no, not closer, further actually. 3.5 seconds back is Upgraded. He no longer has his partner Ricardus, who's 1.5 seconds behind him, and those two were running ahead of GT German Racing. He's been running alone for a while. Now, what happened to our line of Ferraris? We got Aussie up front ahead of Fry, so Aussie's got in 8th place. Fry in 9th place with a half-second penalty. Venom behind him in 10th place. Stevo way back in 11th still. And, of course, we lost Gurgle to some drama. Went into the pits to take fuel and do some fixing up damage, and then took tire. So in the same boat as LV here, who's just 16 seconds behind Gurgle, and for me it's like a whew, don't have to take wet tires, but maybe LJ practiced in you. He didn't have to take wet tires. Seems like everybody did. Back up front with the leaders. HPR keeping that Lambo ahead, though I get the feeling J Nord really is just biding his time. There's just something about it. We haven't seen any sort of attack. You can hear him short shifting that Fezza. I think J Nord is just saving it for something else. Let's see. Is HPR also short shifting, making sure that he keeps some fuel in the tank? Looks like it. A short shift into 6th there for HPR, just managing the pace and waiting for J Nord to make his move. We love it. Endurance racing, right? We're lap 7. We are 14 minutes into this 90-minute race. Oh my gosh, I almost said 19 minutes. Could you imagine? Can you imagine? 5 minutes from now, I'm like, and that's the checkered flag. Let's get to the interview rooms, blah, blah, blah. One question for literally all 3 people because there wasn't much race to talk about. And good night, everybody. Thanks for joining. No? I'm going to do it. I'm going to start a league. I'm going to start a 19-minute race league. That's it. And there's not multiple races. Just one 19-minute race. You're welcome. Short broadcast. Get her done. Oh, man. That sounds good. See, last time around there was no action. No one was really close enough for action. Aussie and Venom still actually pretty close to one another. Aussie in 8th, Venom in 9th. They've been together for a little bit now. Of course, there was a fry between the two of them, who's down to 10th after serving that penalty last lap around, and nowhere near these two. So this would be the closest thing to a quote-unquote battle, I would say, though it's kind of like the first and second place quote-unquote battle, right? They're just saving fuel, hanging out with one another. Eventually everyone stops being friends, but we're still at the start of the race. You know, the smiles from the paddock are still fresh on everyone's mind. They're not hungry yet. They're not that sweaty yet. You know, arms aren't too tired. Everyone's very friendly. Everyone's very friendly. The rain has cooled the cockpits and the track down significantly, so everyone's in a good mood. How long will it last? Ooh, HPR really pulling out some time over J Nord here. Last lap was a 220.455. J Nord's was a 220.659, so not that much slower, but has lost some time somewhere, maybe in the first sector of this lap, if not necessarily on the last lap. It looks shiny on the ground here, but there's no, according to the moisture meter, there's nothing on the ground, nothing that will affect the tires, at least, perhaps temperature-wise, but visually, the track looks a little bit slick, and realistically, it probably is a bit damp, but of course, you know, tarmac and asphalt are porous, so those rocks and that cement will absorb some of that moisture, and the surface pieces will still look a little bit wet for the time being. Maybe there'll be more rain. Also, by the way, just because it didn't happen, didn't go very hard this first time around doesn't mean it won't happen. LV headed back into the pits for some reason. Oh, I see more damage. So damage on the front again, and the front, not the front left wheel, just the front splitter, it looks like. So another front end collision somewhere for LJ V15, and that is going to be one unhappy driver, of course, having to pit again in this race. Gurgle follows along in 12th place. Of course, had whatever incident that was that caused the damage to the back of that Ferrari. Ooh, Venom and Steve-O going at it. So Venom is falling down to 11th place somehow, because Venom was fighting, not fighting, but was riding along with Aussie. So Venom down to 11th behind Steve-O, and as you can see, not being very subtle about wanting to get around. He looks to the outside around the bus stop chicane, hoping to maybe hold on to the inside to come out of it. Doesn't work out. Tries to get as best an exit as possible, and will probably try something on the brakes into La Suisse. I think I saw Fry in the pits there. Let's see, Venom around the outside. Can he get the cutback on Steve-O? A little bit of a better exit, but Steve-O with better track positioning here and will deny Venom any sort of slipstream. But Venom does have a nice run down the straight here. They're going to go side by side into Eau Rouge. Oh my gosh, and Venom with a huge cut on the track and may end up with a penalty behind that. He's going to get the position over Steve-O. Yes, picks up an entire second of penalty because of that move there. It was honestly, Venom, not the best move. Trying to go side by side up through there with the Camel straight right behind it. Maybe could have had something happen here into Les Combes rather than trying to force the issue at Eau Rouge Radillon. Another second loss, though. I also understand sometimes the blood is up. You know, Venom was fighting up in 9th place. What is happening? Who did we just lose? Did we lose someone? Fry coming out of the pits now, has 50% fuel. He's gone onto the soft tire. No, onto the medium tire goes Fry. LJ V15 comes out, is running really slowly here. It's getting pretty foggy out. I wonder if we'll see more rain or if it's just going to stay foggy like this. Look, the headlights and fog lights on for J Nord just behind HPR here. The two front runners still keeping it, playing nice with one another. Of course, J Nord possibly will make a move any minute now. I feel like we lost someone because Venom's position on track wasn't making any sense to me, but I can't make sense of who it might have been. There's German, there's Aussie, there's Venom in 9th, who has served that penalty. Steve-O still remains in 10th behind him. I wonder, will Venom not give that position back? But maybe not. Gurgle picks up a half-second penalty. Fry is in 12th place, having just pitted with his Ferrari. LJ V15 is right ahead of, that is Steve-O ahead of him. So LJ a lap behind. That's Steve-O in 13th place. In 10th place rather, and LJ in 13th behind him. So LJ more than a lap behind at this point, actually. I thought J Nord was having a look, but maybe not. I'm gonna stay right here for a second though, because he definitely looks closer. It doesn't look to be as non-threatening as he did. He's definitely closed the distance to HPR and is staying really close, as if, you know, looking for the opportunity to make a move under the brakes somewhere. HPR is gonna have to be wary of that. And of course, J Nord could just be playing games, maybe looking to force HPR to go defensive and compromise his lines. Not necessarily looking to attack, but perhaps hoping to force a mistake on HPR and get the position without having to do too much work or taking too much risk. The mind games we play. Well, still nothing doing, though. We're coming up on a big braking zone here for the chicane. I don't think he's close enough to do anything here, but he does close up under the brakes, perhaps into La Sus. Oh, no! It won't be able to happen into La Sus because he gets a bit loose coming out of the chicane, and that will mean he won't have a great run into turn 1 there, so HPR stays alive a little bit longer. Now, Nuke is running alone. No longer has Craig. He's 5 seconds behind J Nord, and looks like 3.5 seconds ahead of Craig. 3.7 seconds ahead of Craig. So not gonna have anyone to run with there either. So Nuke just chilling for now. We'll see if something changes. This one says, Chris, I think we need R07 to force wet / enters. Perhaps we do. Well, in any case, it is foggy, which doesn't help with visibility. Ricardus has a penalty, ½ second, so not a very big one. Will likely lose the position to Ricardus, to German Racing behind, as they are getting closer to the Double Gauche. Actually, he's got a little while before he has to take the penalty, so perhaps if he can increase that gap, he won't lose too much time and may even manage to hold on to a position. The way the penalty is taken here, everyone is flat out on the throttle, of course. However, you do come up on a section where it takes a left-hand turn, and if you are on the inside of that turn, you can force someone to go around the outside. It'll still be full throttle there, but being compromised for the next left after that is not something anyone wants. And so you may be able to shut the door and force him to stay behind you. Let's see. It doesn't look like Ricardus has put too much of a gap on German Racing because, well, he got passed. While I was talking, I was not actually looking at what was happening. Did he get passed, or was that a... Man, my memory is trash. Either way, he's not going to lose a position. That's for sure. So he takes his penalty. He's still behind GT German Racing. He's not in the slipstream, but he's not in any danger from anyone behind. We missed the pass for first. J Nord in first place ahead of HPR. I'm sorry, guys. I should have known, but it felt like the game wasn't on still. I thought it wasn't on. It was on. Was it a... Let's see. J Nord with a 2:20.3, HPR with a 2:22.0 on the last lap. So, J Nord got ahead of HPR because it must have been a huge mistake. HPR, an entire second slower than the last lap that they were on. Perhaps a penalty? Maybe. We missed it. All right. We missed it. There was really no action behind, so I really don't want to go behind them. But it looks like the action that was happening here is also gone. HPR's mediums starting to look not so great. J Nord's look even worse. HPR with a little less fuel in the tank, which makes sense. Didn't have slipstream for all that time that J Nord did. But the these two running along well on the track here. 26 minutes in, 27 minutes, 90-minute race. S7R's Ricardus neatly navigating Le Fang. That large, I'd call it a chicane. What we call it a chicane? We'd call it a chicane. It's a big one, but it slows you down, and it ain't straight, so we'll call it a chicane towards the end of the track. Of course, RWB Venom, longtime teams and participants in this championship. I'm an S7R member myself. I bet you didn't know that. You probably do know it. It's in my username. You know it. Sorry, there's not a lot to say, a lot to talk about, and I hope that's okay. We're just gonna let the sound of those engines do the talking for us until something really happens. I'm saving my voice just a little bit. I don't mean to bore you all. I just don't want to speak unnecessarily. Never mind. There is a line of cars for 5th place. German Racing. Are you holding up traffic? Might be, because he's got 2 drivers behind who want to not be, right? 2 Nissans. There's German upgraded also in the Nissan right behind. Teammates, actually, these 2 with the matching liveries here. And then Ricardus with the Lambo. So maybe the teammates won't get into it with one another, but Ricardus is right there to take advantage of any mistakes they may make while they run together. Uh-oh. German Racing out wide in campus, and I think that'll be a penalty if they were as wide as I think they were. Almost got stuck in that Astros turf. No penalty that I can see, so maybe not as wide as I thought. Though, looking at fuel, obviously they're going to need to jump in very soon here. Most of these drivers will need to jump in soon-ish. German, if you're going to do it right now, we're going to go one more lap. Going to go one more lap there with what's in the tank now. Most drivers have not taken fuel because most drivers have not needed to pit. Just a few have already taken pit stops due to damage, mostly Gurgle being one, so he doesn't need fuel. Did I see Steve-O as well and pitted once? I can't remember, but Steve-O is a little bit lower on fuel than anyone else. Than Gurgle, looking like mostly anyone else on the track there, so I think not. Fry has fueled up a bit. LJ V15 has had 2 opportunities to fuel up, and that tank reflects it. J-Nord and HPR look good to go for at least 2 more laps, actually. Whoa. Back to this. Is Ricardus looking to go around the outside of the 2 SLR teammates? Yes, indeed. Ricardus with the pass over both GT Gaming and Upgraded in that Lambo. Now, I do not have a keyboard, so I can't do replays. I apologize. I always forget this. I've gotten so used to just jumping into a Discord and letting somebody else doing the producing. I apologize for not having the equipment to let us see how that started. But it was dope. And hopefully Ricardus will have a replay shared somewhere and you can see it at your leisure. So the two SLR drivers is kind of like, all right, well, we're on our game plan. We're going to stick to that game plan. We're going to let Ricardus have that 5th place, as I don't see them trying to fight back right now. In fact, I see Aussie getting closer in his Ferrari. It's 0.9 seconds now, so a little less than a full second. I wonder if these two drivers are trying to make it to a certain lap before pitting, and they need to slow down the pace to do so. German, of course, is in the red as far as fuel goes. And so fuel saving, if you're trying to make it to a certain lap, would make sense. It is, though, as I've said, backing them into Aussie, and that 0.9 second gap is now down to 0.7 and getting even lower. So Aussie will perhaps have an opportunity to try to get around these two, just like Ricardus did in the Lambo. Now, the Ferrari is similarly mid-engine, so we'll have a grip advantage coming out of these slower corners, such as La Suisse here, and we'll give them a run up into Eau Rouge and Gazillon that can maybe carry them through the Kemmel Straight and into a pass there. Of course, the Nissan has what we call sort of a transaxle type of layout, where the transmission is further back in the car than you would expect. It's connected to the engine via drive shaft, as I recall, and I think the GT3 version of the car retains that, so it does have a little more weight and grip on the back of that car than a traditional front engine rear wheel drive car, but not as much of an advantage as having the full weight of both the motor and transmission back behind or on top of that rear axle there. So it does let Aussie, I almost called him Ricardus, it does let Aussie get a little closer, but it did not quite translate into a pass on the Kemmel Straight. And so they'll have to hang out until they get another opportunity to try and get around these two drivers here. We're going to check back in with the fight up front just to see how that's going. Oh, went too far. J Nord, whoa, 2.5 seconds over HPR. So there is no fight up front. We'll stick to this battle for 6 between the two SLR drivers, GT German Racing, Upgraded, and Aussie Sim Racing. In fact, let us go on board with Aussie as they chase. They've fallen behind in this fast section here. It's very reliant on downforce, but catch right back up as they break for the bus stop chicane here, and they get out really well. A little better than Upgraded, though. You can see the acceleration on that Nissan is crazy. Upgraded, of course, getting a bit of slipstream help from his teammate ahead. Coming out of this corner here, though, Upgraded does get a better exit than Aussie, it seems. Aussie doing a good job of coaxing that car up and over Gazillon. Such a difficult piece of track to get through quickly and safely and within bounds. And he bump drafts Upgraded right before the braking zone. That could have gone badly. Upgraded manages to get it woed up in time to make the corner there. So maybe Aussie not looking to make a pass, maybe looking to save fuel behind these two cars as they go, as evidenced by the bump draft there. Just probably not the best place to do it, man. Though, you know, they could be on the radio with one another. Sometimes your friend warns you, hey, bump draft incoming, and you just hit the brakes because you don't want a bump draft going into a braking zone after a long, fast straight. I'll tell you that much. looks like this is really the only action we got on track. Everyone running alone. I don't think we're expecting to see any more rain. Even the fog has cleared here. I don't see the sun coming out. Still cloudy. But I don't seem to see any sign of rain clouds. So German could hold out no longer and pits, leaving his teammate upgraded. Uh-oh. Did we just lose HPR? We did. We just lost our second place driver, HPR. Whoa, not what we expected here. Definitely not on anyone's bingo card. But there's more to talk about here. Lap 40 minutes in. Not quite halfway, but we have Craig in. Of course, we saw GT German Racing go in. Venom is in. Look at how much fuel Craig has. Oh, he is actively fueling. That might be why. Venom is in, as is... Who else has jumped in here? Cameras got weird on me and changed who I was looking at, but I think it's just those three. German, Venom, and Craig. Oh, the refueling rate is excruciatingly slow for everyone involved. Craig coming out at 52%. German Racing will probably take something similar before coming out. 53, 54, 55, going a little bit higher. 57, 58, 58% for GT German Racing. Venom must be coming to the end of his fueling. 55%. And at 55, he jumps out of the pits, having been released. Did we also lose Gurgle? Or is he just simply not pitted? HPR has jumped back into the room and will spectate for the rest of it. You hate to see it. HPR so close to the end of the championship, and of course it's a pretty close one. HPR sits with 242 points behind Lefebvre's 276. So HPR definitely needed today's points. Maybe even needed a win Of course, HPR has 0 wins. I said, of course. That's not of course. HPR has 0 wins, but 4 podiums. Lefebvre has 6 wins. And of course, that means 6 podiums. So, HPR probably gutted to be out of this thing. Ozzy is in, leaving Upgraded to still be out there. Upgraded had 1 more lap and is looking for some sort of overcut, maybe. So on the racing mediums, we'll see after he pits where he comes out in comparison to his teammate. Can't remember who his teammate is right now. German Racing, and of course Aussie Sim Racing. Let's see if he's covered off Aussie pitting here. Man, literally like watching paint dry. Let's see what the picture is on screen. We got J Nord up front, no longer under any sort of pressure from HPR behind. J Nord does need to pit. Those racing mediums are done for, but of course we are halfway through the race now, starting minute 44, and so J Nord, who's coming up to the last corners, may opt to go another lap if he's got it. He does got it. So he's going to go 1 more lap and so make it truly a halfway stop. A 1-stopper will probably suffice. Nuke also has yet to pit and has way more tires, but it's going to go ahead and do it now because fuel will not allow for another lap here in that Lambo. So maybe missing an opportunity to catch a little extra time up on J Nord, as J Nord has so much worse tires, but of course the fuel is the fuel, and J Nord got the opportunity to save so much behind HPR for the majority of this first stint here. Ricardis will go 1 more lap. Did not pit. I'm surprised with that amount of fuel, but looks like he thinks he can make it. Upgraded does pit in, so we'll see when he comes out where he comes out in comparison to German and of course Aussie. It's funny, just 2 countries. Steve-O pits in right now. Gurgle should not need to pit. Of course, had to pit earlier for damage, and so has lots of rubber left on those tires and a good bit of fuel left in that tank. Might even be able to go for a racing soft tire at the end here if he lets those mediums last, if the fuel lasts. Go for a racing soft to the end of the race. Might work out for him. We'll see. Tire deg doesn't seem to be that high after the rain, so that tells me track temps are a little bit low. Of course, it hasn't continued raining, but the sun hasn't come out either. It has stayed cloudy, and so that will definitely affect how the tires degrade over time. Fry's got himself back up into 7th place. Doesn't need to pit yet, but will before the end of the race. Ooh, little squirrely out of Lasus. Careful on the throttle there, Fry easy. Steve-O and Upgraded are still in the pits. Upgraded a little bit closer to when he'll be able to get out of the pits. In fact, there he goes. 47% fuel is the magic number. We'll stay with Upgraded and see where they come out. Aussie is in 9th, ahead of GT German, so Aussie has gotten ahead of Upgraded's teammate. Can he get ahead of Aussie and maybe help his teammate out here? Camera angle won't let me see much, but I think it's looking like, yeah, it comes out alone in 7th place. That's not right. Okay, because he's still accelerating. The time is going down between himself and Aussie. Once it settles, I'll tell you what kind of gap he's pulled off here. 4 seconds, 4.5. It's going down. It's going down. It's somewhere in the 4.5 to 4.7 second mark is how much time he gained over Aussie. So that is insane for Upgraded there with that overcut. Gotta wonder if there's enough fuel in that car. There looks like the same amount of fuel as Aussie, just a little bit less, which might account for the extra seconds. I mean, refueling rate I think is at 1 second per liter in this championship, which is incredibly slow. It means, you know, so literally 1 liter less fuel is worth an entire second on track. And so that could explain why he's so far ahead of Ozzy, is that he took maybe 2 or 3 liters less fuel. Where's German compared to Ozzy? 7.5 seconds behind Ozzy. So that fight completely broken up. Even the two teammates who I looked like they might be on the same strategy, broken up here by quite a lot. So our leaders are in. Jaynard, Ricardus, Gurgle still... Oh, Nuke had already jumped in. So Nuke should inherit first place here ahead of these drivers. So how well he does on this lap, of course, will help determine where he comes out when they get out of the pits. They will have slow pit stops. Ricardus already up to 40% fuel in that car. Gurgle just now getting in the box. Jaynard not even in box yet. Wait, sorry, Jaynard is out of the box. Jaynard is out of the box and it's still ahead of Nuke, so my fault there. 16 seconds going down to 15. We'll see exactly how far ahead of Nuke he is, but he's out. Nuke inherits second place. Fry is into third. Wow, Gurgle still is back in the pits now. Ricardus is in 5th place. Where are the two who were... I guess that's it. That's the top order. So Jaynard in first by 14, almost 15 seconds. Nuke in second by 3.8 seconds over Fry. Fry in third place by 9.2 seconds over Craig. Again, sorry for my hesitation. I can't hardly see those little tiny numbers. Craig in 4th place here, also in no man's land. He's got 3 seconds behind to Ricardus in 5th. Upgraded is in 6th place, having had a great pit stop sequence there. And behind him by 4 seconds, more than 4, is Aussie Sim Racing in 7th place. 7 seconds behind him. In 8th place is GT German Racing. And then behind him in 9th is RWB Venom, who's 4 seconds behind German. In 10th, we have Stevo, 8.3 seconds behind Venom. And 10.8 seconds behind him is Gurgle in 11th, who has not recovered from that very early incident they had early in the race here. Gurgle qualified in 4th place, put together a hell of a qualifying lap at the last minute in quality to jump up into 4th from pretty far down the order, but looks like race pace wise has not been able to regain enough ground here, but isn't in bad position. You know, they had to take an extra pit stop or an early pit stop, and they came out, I can't remember, but it would have had to been a minute or close to a minute behind everybody else, just given how long this pit lane is. And now they're only 10 seconds behind Stevo in 10th, so could still come in and get 10th place points here. LJ has never not been last, except with the exception of I think Gurgle was last for a little bit because this incident was so close to LJ's here. But LJ in 12th place and just running for the love of the game, you know, and you gotta love it. That McLaren does always feel great to drive, so why not lap it around a great track? Our leader, Jaynard, just really nothing to worry about. HPR has jumped back out of the room, unable to watch, can't watch anymore. I can't take it anymore. And honestly, I would feel the same. Tough break, HPR. Uh-oh. Half second for Jaynard. Nothing to really worry about, of course, but, you know, good to see that the guy's human. And he will serve that very shortly here. I believe he did get it early enough that it will make him serve it on this lap. We'll see. Ah, yes. You'll be forced to decelerate at the next penalty line, which is coming up right about now. A forced deceleration there. The Ferrari slamming on the brakes for just a little bit of time. You're supposed to only lose half a second, but you lose closer to 2. Something like that, unless that's changed. I believe you're forced to decelerate for that amount of time, actually. You decelerate for half a second, which makes you lose more time than half a second. That lonely chicane cam. It just looks like I don't know why I think it's lonely, but it just looks like, there we go. Chicane cam. It just does its little job. Not much action on screen. I don't know. Who do we want to look at? We'll look at Nuke, fearless leader of S7R, running really well in second place here. Really hasn't dropped out of the top 3 that I've seen all race long. So Nuke doing great here at Spa. And that fine S7R livery on the Lambo. Chase Fry through the last few corners of this racetrack here. Very fast section. Uh-oh. That's off track, and that will probably result in a penalty there. We'll see. Yep, a half second. Almost misses the braking for the chicane as well. Fry into the pits. That's an interesting choice. Still got fuel to go. Still got some meat on those tires, but Fry jumping in a bit early, I guess, for what he's got here. We're 55 minutes in to the race, meaning we've got 35 minutes left. Does it feel like, is that too big a window for the softs? Like, is that why he's jumping in now? Do you think he wants to go ahead and jump on the softs now instead of running those mediums out to the end of their life, or running the fuel tank down? I don't know. I'm curious to know what he comes out in. Sleepy, what's good? S7R teammate Sleepy jumping into the chat. Good to see you, bud. We're gonna watch Fry take a pit stop, take fuel. We'll give it a few seconds and see what kind of tire he comes out on, of course. Nothing else really happening on the track, though. We're on board with leader J Nord. Woo! A little bit of a snap there in Stavlo, but he figures it out, keeps it together. Ooh, more. Wow. A little bit loose there for him. And sorry, I said Stavlo. That was the fun. But J Nord likes the car a little bit loose, I see. I think, yeah, well, it is what it is. Yeah, go S7R Sleepy. Nuke's doing good. He's running in second place, and pretty much has been for the entirety of this race here. We're 57 minutes into the 90-minute race, and it's looking great. Why don't we take a lap around Spa with J Nord? Because why not? I need to practice the corner names, and what else is there to do? So, crossing the start-finish line in just a moment. That is the start of the lap right here as you come down the front straight. through the crowd in the stands and down to the turn 1, aka La Source, aka the source. And that's probably the source for the next corner coming down here, Eau Rouge, which is where you cross over a little creek named the Red Water Creek. Wouldn't surprise me if that's why La Source has the name. That's Eau Rouge. The right-hander is called Radillon. Up the hill towards the Kemmel Straight. You definitely want to keep as much speed as possible through there. Could be flat out if you know what you're doing and if you're in the right car with the right tires, but not always. Kemmel will be the longest straight on this track. An excellent place to try and pass right here. Purple first sector for J Nord, actually, as he comes through the chicane known as Le Combe, and then down into the corner Malmedy, a 90-degree right, headed towards a complete 180 hairpin named Brousset. Slow and patient through here. It is a full 180, and a lot of people want to get on the gas too soon. Heading into Speaker's Corner here. Didn't have a name for the longest time, but now it does. A tricky downhill left-hander into another tricky downhill left-hander. The first left of the double gauche. That's double left, and here is that second left there. Just after, you got a little bit of a tricky chicane here called Le Fagne. You got to be brave, but you got to be patient. It's weird. Late apex on both of these, of course. Careful coming out of this one. We've seen J Nord get loose on it before. Not so bad this time. A little bit of snap, easily corrected. The next left right here is Campus, and then, right-hander, and then another right-hander called Stavlo. Here, we are full throttle for a good bit through this right-hander called Courbe de Paul Frère, and then still flat out for Blanchimont, this mellow left-hander off the throttle for just a second through here, aka Blanchimont, unless you are J Nord, who just took it flat out completely. Now, hard on the brakes for the bus stop chicane. It's no longer shaped like a bus stop chicane. Straighten the car out and get on that gas as soon as possible so you can cross the finish line, and that is a lap around Spa-Francorchamps in Belgium. The heavily wooded, forested track, one of the oldest continuously running tracks in the world. I do believe it's pre-war. Like, pre-World War II for sure, possibly even pre-World War I. You know what? I could look that up because I have that literally right in front of me. So, the very first year it opened was 1921. So, pre-World War II, but after World War I, right? In that period of false peace just between. And then, of course, Belgium devastated during, Belgium had a hard time in World War II? Yes, of course, because I think they had to go through Belgium to get to France. I can't remember, of course, but Spa managed to reopen after the war, though, and pretty much unchanged, actually, after the war. So, at the time, Spa was huge, about 9 miles long as it went through several different towns. But now it is severely limited. Of course, no longer goes through all those towns. It is now a 4.3 mile long track. Still long, but about half as long as its former length. We've crossed the 1 hour the 1 hour mark at 60 minutes, 61 and a half minutes actually. So just under 30 minutes left in this race. Drivers back into the groove after their pit stops. RWB Venom with half a second here. Let's see if anyone is going to need to pit before the end of this race here. If I can guess, you know. Not upgraded. Everyone looking good in the top 5. Aussie looks good there. Of course, tire deck is a little bit different for some folks than others. We do have folks who have pitted at completely different times than the rest of the pack here, but all should generally have the same amount of fuel in the car. Fry with a little bit more than anyone else. Fry looking to push, it sounds like, and so really fueled up that car, filled up the tank almost, halfway filled up the tank almost. Steve-O looking good. We were just on Fry, so I don't know how I ended up going backwards. And LJ, so no one will owe a pit stop. LJ's tires look terrible, so LJ may need to pit for tires, potentially. They did completely overfuel the last couple of pit stops to avoid having to do that twice. So a pit for tires definitely isn't ideal, as the pit stop is slow anyway, but you won't spend nearly as much time as you would if you were also having to take fuel. And a little bit of a trip outside in the gravel just outside Malmedy. No penalty picked up there though. Man, no action. I need to see some hip checking. These three, of course, in the first stint were racing literally bumper to bumper, line of stern. It was upgraded Aussie Racing and GT German Racing, though at the time upgraded and GT German were running right next to each other. And then Aussie was behind. We saw Ricardis make an incredibly brave pass around them way earlier, and he's in 4th place here, and he's 7.5 seconds up the road from them. So they're not really a thought on Ricardis's mind, unless they're not really a thought on Ricardis's mind, and that's where I'm gonna leave that. Uh-oh. Craig's up there with a half-second penalty. Now, that's not going to get Ricardis right on up on top of him or anything like that, but it might help him get closer. It's going to be a while before he has to serve it. They are just after the penalty zone here on this lap, so it won't be until the end of the next lap that we'll see Craig have to serve that. I want to see Craig's headlights. I kind of like those. Yeah, that red in there looks good. I forgot. I think you can change that on these cars, right? That is pretty awesome looking there for yet another SLR driver. Now, that team is new to me. I won't lie. I don't know the name SLR. So maybe new to the championship, or maybe a rebrand of an existing team. No, because then I would remember Aussie and I would remember GT German Racing. Or would I? You guys know my memory sucks. Come on. Sleepy, you didn't know that about Spa? Well, you're very, very welcome. Super, super cool track. You might be able to find more info on YouTube, maybe even some footage, but you know, it was an old school track from the days where like tires were super skinny, you know, the cars just weren't that grippy. So it wasn't about cornering so much as it was about bravery. How brave can you be speeding through these country roads between towns with, you know, at best hay bales for barriers between yourself and a farmhouse or a silo or an electric pole, if there was electric poles at that time before they changed this. Maybe I don't know how rural this area of Germany is. Maybe they didn't have above ground poles, but you just had a lot of obstacles, or not obstacles, hazards just off track, as it was not like it is now. Right now it is a closed circuit, purpose-built racetrack, but at that time it was all public roads, like the Nürburgring. The Nürburgring is the same kind of track, right? It just happened to get to stay as it is mostly while we built the Grand Prix circuit for a closed circuit. But Nürburgring, Spa, gosh, what else? Some other tracks all have very similar histories in that they were simply races on public roads. It was a circuit, meaning you start and end in the same spot, but they were rally-like in that you were running on the same streets as everybody else. Craig did lose a bunch of time taking that penalty, and that brings Ricardis like a second, just behind him, just about above us, over a second. So that's going to give Ricardus a chance potentially at a podium here. Of course, still a lot of racing to go. We got about 22 minutes left in the race, and so Craig could still run away with it, or successfully defend. But yeah. Yeah, Monza is also a track that harkens back to that area, or goes way back there. I know that one definitely opened after World War One. However, it is not like it was never like a public roads track. What was different about Monza is they had an oval track. It was an oval circuit. I think the remains of that oval circuit are still there, and sometimes accessible. Obviously not accessible to cars. Very dangerous. The asphalt is all crumbled up and trashed. I mean, it was dangerous back then before it was trash. Now it's complete trash. No one's letting you drive on it. However, there is an oval circuit at Monza, and Grand Prix drivers used to race it. It was great. It was great. Well, this hasn't quite materialized into a battle yet. I wasn't expecting it to just yet, so we'll check out what's going on for everyone else real quick. That's Upgraded, Racing Alone, Aussie Sim Racing, Racing Alone, German Racing, also by himself with a penalty, as does Venom, also in No Man's Land. Steve-O, all by myself, Fry, LJ, nobody has a friend. Craig has a friend. It's Ricardus. He's trying to do bad things to him. Not those bad things, guys. He just wants to pass him on track. Y'all nasty. Stop. Well, we're not quite catching up, is Ricardus. In fact, that gap has hasn't increased, but it hasn't changed. It's 0.987 right now. It's going to accordion a little bit as we're going through a left-right braking sequence and all that jazz. But Craig managing to hold Ricardus off. He had that penalty last lap around. It brought Ricardus much closer, of course, but it has not resulted in Ricardus getting into position for any sort of attack here. That Nissan has looked great all race long. I'm not gonna lie. Not Nissan, sorry. That Porsche has looked great all race long. It is, I believe, the lone 911 in the race. But Craig's been holding on to, hovering between third and fourth, I believe, all race long. Qualified behind Nuke, I believe, in fourth. Of course, we had Jaynard, HPR in second, who we lost, and then Nuke in third, and then I believe it was Craig just behind him. Oh, thought I saw something. Speaking of Jaynard, the gap to Nuke now 28 seconds. So We've got a first place runner running away with it by 30 seconds or more. Really wish HPR was still in here to see if maybe he could challenge. It would have been Ferrari versus Lambo, which is always a nice fight to see, but alas, Jaynard representing Ferrari all alone, like Lewis after a Charles Leclerc retirement. Whatever that song is that you play when you tell a joke. A little ragtime piano song. You hear it. You know what I'm talking about. Looking at Craig's tires and fuel. Looking at Ricardis's tires and fuel. Ricardis is in a better place tire-wise. Fuel is about the same, but look at Craig's tires and look at how big a jump it is to what Ricardis's tires look like. Now that could come into play as this stint carries on here. Now Ricardis, of course, not quite in slipstream, and if he is, he's getting a very light slipstream, so he's not going to be scrubbing too much of those tires right now. Also, meanwhile, you know, Craig's will continue to degrade at pretty much the same pace. Both of these cars mid-engine, so not too much weight on those front tires, plenty of weight on the rears, but also the rears also mean they're nice and grippy, so they should slide around less. The only difference is the starting, which is Ricardis is starting in a better position as far as tire degradation goes. "15 minutes left to race." Well, I mean, we're watching it. We're both watching it. I don't really have to say it. We're all watching it, rather. Ricardis is a little bit closer. We're down to 8.5 tenths. It's happening. It's just happening really slowly. See if these guys have gotten any closer to one another. Oh, yep. Ozzy, a lot closer to upgraded. I wonder if something happened. Upgraded's last lap was a 23.5, which was about 6 tenths slower than the lap before. And really, the lap before was almost an entire second slower than the lap before that. So maybe a deliberate slowing down by Upgraded over the last couple of laps, but certainly a huge loss of time. Meanwhile, Ozzy was doing 21s up until the last lap, which was a 22.9, which is 1.2 seconds slower than lap 30 before. So I wonder maybe if something went down there, but Ozzy clearly with an advantage here has gotten closer to Upgraded. You can't help but wonder, well, actually, I know that they would probably be into it with one another right now if Ozzy had not had a bad lap 31. So here we are, finishing up lap 32 and going to work lap 33. They're almost only half a second apart here. So I want to see if we're seeing something between Ricardis and Craig. No, that's back to 1 second there. So this is now our closest battle, the battle for 5th place between Upgraded and Aussie Sim Racing. Is Ozzy going to make a move into Lecombe? No, he's not, but Upgraded knows, hey, you're on notice, bro. I'm right here. Next braking zone, I might not be so friendly. Almost no difference in fuel and tires between these two. I would say Ozzy's rears are in a little bit worse shape than Upgraded's. That's not that surprising. The Fezza will have more weight over the rear axle than the Nissan, as we discussed a little bit earlier in that first stint, actually, when we were talking Nissan versus Fezza. So we'll see. We've seen now how that has come into play, as Upgraded only pitted one lap after Ozzy, so it's only a 1 lap difference there between those two drivers as far as how old their tires are. There's also driving styles could also play a part in it. Ozzy might like a looser rear end. Maybe he gets on the throttle a bit quicker, slides it around a bit more into braking. Who knows? Either way, those rear tires don't look great. Ooh, I think Ricardus might have got a better run up Kemmel than Craig, and Craig picked up a penalty. I wondered about that. It came late, so I thought it wasn't a thing, but it was a thing. Not only did Ricardus have a better time, Craig picked up a penalty, probably was getting off the gas to try to avoid that penalty, and not only let Ricardus get closer, but has also almost guaranteed that he's going to lose the position now, whereas when the gap was 1 second, there was possibly a chance that he could hold Ricardus off. Ricardus, however, is not going to let him go now. Like a dog with a bone, he will follow up under that rear wing, and so inherit third place, and only have to defend it for about 9.5, 8 minutes. That is a few laps around here. Don't get me wrong, a lap is 2 minutes 20. So it will be several laps that he has to defend that third place from Craig. And Craig, of course, will be fighting real hard to get it back. Let's see. In the championship standings, Ricardus sits in 5th place with 223 points. And that's only not too far behind LJV15, who actually sits in 4th with 237 points. LJ, of course, not having a great race today, but he's got 3 podiums on the season, so definitely when it's his day, doing well. So Ricardus in 5th place. Craig in the season, I can't even find, because maybe his name is something else. Let's see if I can find out before anything bad happens. Excuse the non-professional change of settings here, but whatever, it's sim racing, bro. No, name is still SLR Craig. Why am I unable to see him? Oh, because he's Pro-Am, and he sits 3rd in the Pro-Am Championship, so a little bit of mixing here with the rooms, with the lobbies. I forgot about that. Ozzy also comes out of the Pro-Am crowd, as is Steve-O. We got a few in the lobby here that come from another class of driver, but they're all doing well here tonight, as evidenced by Craig, a Pro-Am, holding off Ricardus, a Pro. German Racing is in the pits. Front tires are donezo completely. Now, German was the first of the SLR Nissans to pit, ahead of teammate, Upgraded. So German Racing pitted, and then I think Ozzy pitted, and then I think it was Upgraded. We just lost LJ. LJ no longer in the lobby, no longer in the race. So a pit stop here a last-minute pit stop here needed. I think LJ was also in need of a pit stop when I looked at his tires, but probably opted not to do it. What is the point? I'm already in 11th place. Another pit's going to put me way further behind. And, you know, we've got 7 minutes left to race. 8, I get it. Call it. Had a good one. Let's park the car, save the engine for another day. Ricardus is a lot closer to Craig now. Ozzy a little bit closer to Ricardus, to Upgraded. Of course, these two battles are happening pretty far apart, 14 seconds apart for these two battles. You can see where they are on track if you follow my red triangle on the track map in the upper right-hand corner. Right now, we're with Upgraded in that battle for 5th, and this triangle is Ricardus in that battle for 3rd, way up the road, as you can see. Now, Ricardus getting into some very important braking zones. I think that's not a penalty where Craig just did there. I think we've seen another car do it and pick. Oh, I lied. It was a penalty. So, Craig with a penalty and slows way down. Ricardus is going to go around, and they almost get into it with one another. That was close. Almost spun Ricardus there in that chicane. It's very low speed, but it's the camber in the roads is a little bit weird. You're at the edge of balance, and in these mid-engine cars, that can be very sensitive timing to be hit there. But Craig lets Ricardus ahead of him. I don't know if that, I don't really know why he let him get ahead so easily. Maybe just opting just to let him go since he has a penalty anyway. I don't really know. But either way, Ricardus given 3rd place for free. Craig with a second one of those penalties that even brought Ricardus into the fray in the first place against him. Down in that 5th place battle, Upgraded versus Ozzy continues on. Ozzy really closing in on Upgraded here. Got a better run through Camel. Not going to be close enough to do anything in the brakes, and is now going to go through that technical section where Dirty Air will probably keep him from getting that much closer. Not too much hard braking here, except maybe this corner coming up right now, Brousset, but I wouldn't even really name that a hard braking passing opportunity. So Ozzy will have to be patient for another little while until they get to the chicane. So this final last sector, last 2 sectors, no real opportunities to pass unless Upgraded makes a huge mistake. Yeah, Craig has completely let Ricardus go. Ricardus 3 seconds up the road, so Craig kind of giving up on it there. I don't know why. Fuel looks a little low, but I don't know. I think they could have made it. Ricardus has the same amount of fuel, so Craig picked up that final penalty, or like final, but last penalty, and I don't know. It's kind of started phoning it in. Granted, we're an hour and 26 minutes into the race, so really only going to get another couple of laps, but you never really know, right? You never know. You never know. Let's go back to that battle for 5th. Ooh, not so much a battle for 5th, as Ozzy's now 1.2 seconds behind Upgraded. I don't remember that Ozzy had any penalty to serve. That would explain that, but yeah, the closeness has stopped being so close. Is anyone else anywhere close to getting a new position? Now, German had to pit, and so that brings him to within 2 seconds of Steve-O behind, but there's not much time to make up for a 2-second gap, and Steve-O has front splitter damage, which is severely going to hamper him in sections like this, really, these fast, full throttle sections, and then down Kemmel, of course, which will just lose him time. Fry is now in last place in 10th, as we lost LJ. I think we lost Gurgle too, because I ain't seen Gurgle in a bit. I don't know if I realized when we lost Gurgle, but they're not on track right now. Congratulations on 10th place points, Fry. Though I think you were going to get them anyway. I think everyone we've lost outside of HPR was behind you. Nuke with this solid performance in second place. No need to push, just bring it home. Plenty of space ahead and behind. Nobody to run to, nobody to catch, and nobody to run away from. So just keep it neat. Check on Upgraded and Ozzy. We're gonna try to make sure we catch our leader getting that checkered flag while following the action, of course. He's coming out of Brousset into Speaker's Corner now. He's got a little bit of traffic, but almost home. So we'll stay with these two for a little bit, but we'll follow along with Jaynard's arrow. Ozzy really wants it. He's right in Upgraded slipstream as they head into turn one last time. And was that a tap? I think he might have tapped Upgraded. Maybe it was just a little lag spike. Upgraded didn't seem to have lost his line there, but that was interesting, wasn't it? Yes, it was. The time has increased between the two drivers, though. Now up to a second. Ooh, Ozzy, is that a penalty? Not sure, but it does look like our leader is coming through the final corners now. Going through Paul Frere and Blanchiment. We'll stay here for a little bit, but I don't think Ozzy's going to be close enough to make a pass in any place that matters right now. So we'll come back to Jaynard, who comes to the final chicane. Woo! That was a little sketchy with the rear there, but he will cross this line in first place, having stayed in first for the majority of the race. Only really had one person in the battle. Congratulations, Nuke, coming to the chicane, will cross the line into second place. But it'll be a while before he gets there. So let's go back to Upgraded and Ozzy. What's it look like? Double gauche for these two. Still no opportunities for passing for Ozzy. Can he stay close to Upgraded, though, and ensure that he gets the position towards the end? Not sure. We'll come back to them when they get into the chicane. Nuke gonna come up to it now. Hard on those brakes. One last quiet run to the finish, and that is second place for Nuke. Yellow flag for whom? Not Ricardis. Ricardis, who will now come to that chicane. I don't know who the yellow flag is for. Maybe there's a back marker somewhere that I don't see. But Ricardis into third place. Craig will take fourth, but we'll come back to this battle here for fifth place between Upgraded and Ozzy. Ozzy with one last chance here into the chicane. Is he close enough? Not quite. Upgraded does go a little bit defensive just to make sure the lunge isn't on, and it isn't. So Upgraded will keep fifth. Of course, Craig took fourth, Upgraded into fifth. Ozzy will finish sixth behind him. And we'll watch the rest of the drivers come in one by one until that clock runs out. Ooh, Venom with 0 front tires. Picking up some marbles. That's all that was. Just picking up some marbles for the weigh-in. You know what I'm saying? The half-second penalty, that won't matter. The next car behind him is 17 seconds. It will show as a 1-second penalty for him when he crosses the line, I think, since he won't have gotten to serve it. But it won't matter. GT German Racing is behind in 8th place. He will be the last to take the checkered flag, as Stevo and Fry will end their race on the track. In 9th and 10th place, respectively. Guys, that's round 10 at Spa. That's your race. Pretty exciting race there for a lot of drivers. For some, kind of boring. For others, lots of action. Aussie Sim Racing, what a race. Yes, indeed. You had some good action there between you and the SLR drivers. Victory for Jay Lefebvre. We will interview him and the other podium winners pretty soon here. It's him, Nuke, and Craig. Looking at our results, classified results, we have Jay Nord in first, Nuke, Ricardus in third. I'm sorry, not Craig. Craig in fourth place. I forgot, took that penalty, gave Ricardus third. Upgraded into fifth. Aussie Sim Racing will finish sixth. Venom finished in seventh place. GT German Racing in eighth. We have RWB Stevo in ninth. Fry420 took 10th place. HPR with a DNF in 11th. LJV15 with a DNF with 12th place. And Gurgle Gurgle in 13th, who also did not finish. And that is your race. So we're going to be right back, guys. We're going to let everyone get a sip of water, get the sweat out of their eyes, maybe use the bathroom. And then we'll come back with our podium interviews. See you soon. Yellow. Uh-oh. I can't hear you guys. Why can't I hear you guys? Try this. Hello. Okay, still can't. That's cool. That's There we go. All I gotta do is pick the right output. It's so important. Alright guys, I got the stream on hold, but it looks like we have everyone. I was last. Congratulations on the podium. Jump this right over and finish the broadcast out since I made a start late, so stay silent while I introduce you. I think my mic was on. You guys heard everything, didn't you? Anyway, it doesn't matter. We're in the interview room. Nobody was fighting, so that's perfect. We're in the interview room with our three podium winners. That would be, of course, Jay Nord, Nuke, and Ricardus. We'll start with Ricardus. Bruh, you had a fight back up to the podium after the first pit stop. Actually, I think even before the first pit stop, you made that incredible pass over the two SLR Nissans. Tell me about that pass, because I didn't see the start of it.
To get something like to make some mistake or something like that, and then I noticed that they kind of was struggling with the tires. So that was my only hope, just to stay behind them and just let them run out of tires and pass them. So that was my plan.
It was fantastic, and the plan worked because the move you made was brave. It was around the outside of the corner, and it was around two cars. I mean, granted, they were bumper to bumper, but, you know, two huge cars. It's the Nissan, for goodness sake, and you made it happen, and you made it look super easy. For those who were listening at the very beginning, I did not have the sound running, so what Ricardo said is that he spent the majority of that first stint in an SLR sandwich. You guys heard the rest, so you make that pass. That puts you into fourth place. You basically run away with it while they battle with Ozzy. And then we get towards the end of the second stint. It's you and Craig. Craig's been running really well all race long. I think he qualified one position ahead of you. Is that correct? Or maybe behind?
I'm not too sure. Might be. Yeah, I don't remember. Just remember that I qualified in P5 and my start wasn't that great. And I went down, I believe, all the way down to P7 or P8. Something like that, and I was just trying to get back up.
Hey, it makes it even more of a comeback. Your pass on Craig happened after he got a penalty, looks like, coming out of campus, but it felt like he gave the position to you in an awkward place, like maybe he was trying to give it to you before the chicane, or I think he even tapped you a little bit there. Was there contact?
No, I don't think so. Not that I can remember.
Okay, just a trick of the cameras then. Maybe some lag, but either way, it looked like easy money for you to get it and get into the podium. Congratulations on the points. I'm sure they're needed for the championship here, the Pro-Am Championship. I know you're sitting third there, so this will help.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I wouldn't say it was an easy race. Like, I'm all sweating. My whole back is like completely wet. And yeah, I would like to say shout out to Sector 7 guys like me, Nuke, and Dipshy. I know Dipshy won his lobby too, so congrats on that as well.
Nice, way to go, Dipshy.
And yeah, it's like we were doing what we were doing, exchanging information and everything, and yeah, really happy with the result. And I also have one more favor to ask, Tati.
Yes.
Can you broadcast more races? Because second race you're broadcasting, second time I'm on the podium.
Well, we'll see. You know, Chris loves doing this, so I hate to take his job away from him, but perhaps. Only if he's producing in the booth. I found that I've lost my taste for doing the commentary and the producing at one time. I've been spoiled. But I got you.
Yeah, okay. Thank you for everything. Thank you for making this happen.
I appreciate you. All right, teammate Nuke, S7R Nuke, the boss of S7R, second place. It's been a fantastic race for you. Maybe not easy in the beginning, but certainly that last stint, you kind of just had to put your head down and make the laps happen. Were there any challenges in the race, maybe in the beginning when you were kind of in the mix with other drivers?
Yeah, I mean, the first couple laps were interesting, Taddy. Before I say anything else, man, I just want to say I'm gutted for HBR. You know, to get a DC like that. I mean, he had me covered this race. I knew he was going to have me covered, and he just made the fight for P2 a little bit more spicy for the championship. So I'm missing next round, and I've only got the Mustang left for Yas, so I think I'm in trouble. But yeah, I mean, early on, you know, Janer didn't have the best start. I was kind of scratching my head there. You know, he got around fairly quick, but then he had some weird, I'm sure he'll talk about it. He had some weird airborne thing happen, and I was just, you know, I was just backing off. I wanted to let him just slide right back in front of me, but I didn't want to let Gurgle, you know, get up to my bumper either. So that was about the most excitement I had. After that, it was probably the most boring P2 I've ever had in my life. Second stint, I was just, you know, just staying safe, managing my gap. I knew I wasn't going to get fast lap. I didn't have the tires or fuel to do it. I could run it better than a 19 flat on mediums, but I didn't have the fuel to do it. So
I got you.
I just kind of just sat in the pocket there, kept my eye on my gap to P3 and kind of maintained my gap was really all I was doing, and just staying safe at that point because I wasn't going to catch Jaynard.
Hey, that's the kind of bass player we like. You stay in the pocket, don't do too much. Appreciate
Yeah.
you, Nuke.
Yeah,
I know you're
yeah.
missing the next race, but good luck in that fight against HPR. I know HPR is a very tough opponent. I've done commentary on many lobbies with HPR winning by 30 seconds, especially when he was like in the lobby 2 days, I believe. So good luck, my boy. Good luck.
I think we're both a little bit tired of looking at each other this season because he's either been looking at my back bumper or I've been looking at his, and we've had some sweaty races this season. So also shout out to Dipshy. I know Ricardo said it, but he won his lobby in lobby 2. So good job, teammate.
Way to go, Dipshy. We love it. And you know what? I think I said Ricardus. I think I said good points for you in Pro-Am. I'm sorry. You're definitely pro. I don't even know where I came up with that. Ricardus is in 5th place, by the way, in the pro standing. So, good points for him versus LJ, who's in 4th ahead. Nuke, you're 240 points versus HPR's 242, and just picked up your 7th podium, and that you've inherited 2nd place here. Congratulations. And that moves us to Jay Lefebvre, a.k.a. Jaynard. Congratulations on another win, Jaynard. How are you feeling? You've had 7 wins now.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Feeling pretty good. The start of this race was weird. Like, I think the cold tire catched me, and then on lap 3, I don't think we see it well on the broadcast, but when I hit the bollard, my car went in the air. And it made me nearly lose control. I managed to save it, somehow.
Wow.
And then I was just waiting for the rain because I was like, yeah, if the rain comes and I'm pushing, yeah, the tires are going to last. But I'm like, oh, when I saw the rain, like I was just waiting really on the first stint, just waiting to avoid burning the tires because I didn't want to do like another pit stop, so I was just waiting, and then when went on the hards, I just pushed a bit more, I think.
Gotcha. You know what? I don't think I ever noticed that you went on the hard, so that's pretty impressive there. Yeah, the rain. The rain didn't cause anyone to change tires.
Yeah, I told Chris to put R7, R8, but he put R6 instead.
Ah, got it. Yeah, R6 is very little rain for. And it looks like it was only just one time slot that was rain as well.
It was not even the time slot that rain was R1, as funny it is. Like it's just that the rain does not, like, it's at R6, it might be there, it might not be there. It's like cells of rain instead of like a big cloud, so you never like be sure when it rains or not. It's like maybe, but so far this season, we've not been lucky with the rain. It's always misses the track for some reason.
Yeah, it was very light. Maybe I don't know if there's rain due at any other future races. We only got two.
Yeah, we have
rounds
Suzuka.
left.
We have Suzuka.
So perhaps.
Suzuka is a. Yeah.
Yeah, well, at least, I mean, it cooled the track down a bit, I'm sure. But yes, it definitely would have been nice to see a bit of a rain battle this race around. But for you, the beginning was...
They got rain in lobby 2.
They got rain in lobby 2? Nice. Good for them.
Yeah.
They had to put on wets?
Yeah.
Ah, I see. Okay. Well, Lefebvre, besides your fight with HPR, you also had an easy race outside of that incident with the bollard. What are you anticipating for these next 2 rounds if HPR is back to form? Do you think you got this in the bag?
Yeah, I have pretty good. I used pretty much all the cars I needed to use for this season. So like for the last few tracks, I still have pretty good cars for those tracks.
Nice. Good for you. Okay, well, that says it, you guys. Thank you for joining. Everyone else, thank you for watching, and sorry for the delay in starting. Hopefully we haven't delayed you guys too much from enjoying the rest of your Saturday night here. We will see everyone else in round 9, and of course, you 3 drivers, We'll see you round 9, round 10 for you, Nuke.
Roger that. Round 10.
All right, boys. Thank you for joining. I'm gonna hop out of here and close the stream out. Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
around.
Bye.
Well, guys, you heard it. It's been a pleasure as always. This has been E Dirty Tati, aka Tatiana Noel, longtime streamer, longtime commentator on GT Champions World Cup since season 1. I always love to come back and watch you guys race and do the commentary and talk to you all in chat. I don't think I'm on for any of the final 2 races, but maybe I'll see you in season 9 or around iRacing. Regardless, everyone, please have a great night.
Are you looking for professional broadcasting on a budget? How about broadcast with colorful commentary, guest commentators, and after-race interviews? Do your league branding... Are you looking for professional broadcasting on a budget? How about broadcast with colorful commentary, guest commentators, and after-race interviews? Do your league branding and social media graphics need a facelift? Custom results and series graphics looking like a 5th grader did them? Event organization taking up way too much of your time? Engage GTC TV and let us help you show the world your events.
PC Systems, your dedicated call center partner. We specialize in live customer support as a service, a 24/7 support center, empowering system integrators, operators, and innovators to execute seamlessly at scale, precisely when and where it matters most. Our TaaS model encompasses infrastructure, technology procurement, and comprehensive implementation and lifecycle support. With 3 decades of industry expertise, PC Systems leads in collaborative solutions across hospitality, multifamily student housing, and healthcare. As your trusted white label support partner, PC Systems operates seamlessly in the background, acting as an extension of your team and brand. Simple pricing and transparent solutions allow us to extend your business reach at scale. Let us accelerate your project execution and provide the service delivery infrastructure to expand your business. Contact PC Systems, your call center partner.
Welcome to Origin Micro, your go-to e-commerce superstore for IT hardware and consumer electronics. With over 2 decades of experience, we've earned a reputation for delivering superior customer service and offering top industry brands at competitive prices. We provide a wide range of products from various manufacturers. From notebooks and desktops to networking equipment and VoIP devices, we've got you covered. Our fully stocked warehouse ensures that you'll find the products you need when you need them. And with our expert team always ready to offer personalized support, you can trust Origin Micro for all your IT needs. Origin Micro, your IT e-commerce superstore, serious deals, superior service.